UFC Des Moines just ended, and it's time for me to recap my bets in the card. 10, 15 minutes tops, I'm not going to lie. I really didn't enjoy myself. As far as betting-wise, it was a very profitable night. I had bets on the official bets. We profited 0.22 units. We went 2 and 3 on units. Casual parlay hit, so of course I'm ecstatic. But as far as betting-wise, like away from these bets, I did some side bets, loaded up on them heavy, and I was very, very profitable tonight. So, but as far as the fight quality, I really didn't enjoy myself. We'll get into it. Let's recap the bets first. Casual parlay is now 4-1 in his last 5. We had Julian Robertson and Montel Jackson. Money lines. Julian Robertson gets that finish. TKO. That's what we like to see. Marina Rodriguez actually lays the gloves down in the cage. And then Montel Jackson took that O. That's exactly what we expected. Montel Jackson did land some heavy blows against Daniel Marcos and kind of had him in trouble a few times here and there, but it looked like to me Daniel Marcos at the end of that fight was holding and trying to survive. And then whenever they had range, he would literally backpedal, especially in that third round. He looked like he was in survival mode. Maybe that's just me, but I think that was a clear 30-27. Should win parlay loses Gaston Bolaños. You'll never make another parlay ever in your life. I'm not even joking in the slightest. Quang Lee put on a masterclass against you. Mason Jones showed that he was trying to give the fans a fun fight. Showed he's very tough because Jeremy Stevens was cracking him with some big shots, but Mason Jones hung tough. Nasty boxing combinations, nasty body work, and then at the end showed that wrestling that we were expecting to see a little earlier, showed that wrestling closer, show out. Good win for Mason Jones. Gaston Bolaños, you'll never, I swear, like I'm not even joking, you'll never make it on another parlay ever again. Okay, Bo Nickel. The over 1.5 here hit, exactly how it played out. A late finish. It almost got tricky in the first round with Daniel Rodriguez and Ponzinibbio because Ponzinibbio was on skates early in the first round, and I'm like, oh boy, this is how it happens. But the over 1.5 hits just for Bo Nickel to miss by 30 seconds. I was 30 seconds away from hitting this parlay. Bo Nickel gets crumbled against the cage. We're going to talk about it more once we get to the card recap. Gets crumbled against the cage in a brutal fashion. Sucks. Yana Santos came through. Hey, Yana Santos. A lot of people were shitting on this fight on Twitter. I kind of enjoyed it. I really actually enjoyed myself. The women were banging. It was a pretty good fight. WMA expectations. I was expecting it to be stinky. Miesha Tate's wrestling was not nearly as good like I thought it would be. I didn't think her wrestling would be good enough to control this fight like a lot of people thought. Now, in that third round, it got tricky. But Yana survived. Clear 29-28. She was beating her up badly on the feet, like badly. I'm not even over-exaggerating either when I say that badly. Cameron Smotherman doesn't cover the plus 3.5. Yana Santos covered her plus 3.5. Cameron Smotherman doesn't cover his plus 3.5. All good. We got 3 in a row. We're going to try to make it 4 next week. I ain't going to lie. I had Joel Alvarez in the casual parlay for next week. He just pulled out of his fight against Benoit Saint Denis, so I do have to find a replacement. But next week, I think we're going to hit. I think I have a lot of spots that I'm comfortable in. I just want to take my time and pick the ones that I'm the most confident in. Juliana Miller puts on a masterclass. It doesn't even sound right. Juliana Miller puts on a masterclass against Ivana Petrovic. I'm talking about backpacking her, beating her up. Submission, honey. The way I was coming into this fight, Ivana, if she won, cut Juliana Miller, feed her to Jacqueline Amora. I say that's not the right weight class. Feed her to Wong Kong. You know what I'm saying? But now that Juliana Miller won, I say cut them both. I'm sorry. I know she won and she actually, I'm not going to say she looked good, but she dominated her. She did. I'm not going to lie. After the first round, she dominated her. Like clearly won. How about that? Not dominated. Clearly won, especially the third round. Clearly won. I say cut them both. Fuck it. Thomas Peterson, Donto Mays. I don't want to ever see you put on the gloves again in the UFC. You're old. I was gonna say go to the regionals, perfect your game, work on it. It's a little late for that. You were actually working, trying to get to your feet, so I was kind of surprised with that. I thought once you get down, Thomas would just keep you there. Donto Mays was kind of scrambling, getting to his feet, kind of impressed me in that right, but he didn't really impress me that much because Thomas Peterson really dominated you, 10-8'd you, dominated you, ground and pound. Thomas Peterson should have finished this fight. There were multiple times where he could have had a rear naked choke or Kimura or arm triangle. Didn't finish the submission. Didn't really hunt for him that much. Just ground and pound. Not much to talk about. Like I said, we're keeping it short. I really didn't enjoy this card that much. Quang Lee ran through Gaston Bolaños. It wasn't hard at all. There was zero adversity he faced. Every time he shot a takedown, he got in an advantageous position. Took his back in the first round, couldn't finish in there. Took his back in the second round, submitted him. Gaston Bolaños rose into the rolls into the body lock. Doesn't he just give his back, but rolls into the body lock and gives his back. Quang Le sneaks his arm. He has one arm under the chin. It was there for about 20 seconds before he even secured the choke. Gaston Bolaños did not have any urgency to fight that hand at all. Quang Le hides the hand, and Gaston Bolaños doesn't try to defend the choke, just makes the conscious decisions to go to sleep, and he goes to sleep. Trash. Fucking horrible. Marina Rodriguez, Gillian Robinson, I think it was a good call. Good call for Marina Rodriguez to lay the gloves down. It's a good call. It's a good call. It's the right call. It's the right call. Gillian Robinson continues to look as good as I think she is. She looked really good on the feet, too. A lot of people say if this fight's going to be on the feet, it's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be close. Marina Rodriguez is just going to... She's going to outstrike her. It's not even going to be close. Marina Rodriguez landed 7 strikes in every single exchange on the feet. Gillian Robinson won. She's getting better, ladies and gentlemen. And she's not that young, but she's getting better. She looks really good. As far on the ground, she's really good at getting into those advantageous positions. We knew Marina was a fish out of water on her back, but Gillian Robinson really just stayed patient, knew the position would come. Like I told her in the keys to victory, she was in the casual parlay, and just let the finish find itself. Azamat Bukoyev versus Ryan Loder. Picked Azamat Bukoyev. I think I only got one fight wrong. No. I got 2 fights wrong, being that the Cameron Smotherman fight, I picked Cameron Smotherman. Low confidence, though. It was really low confidence. And I picked Ivana Petrovic. The fact that Ivana Petrovic lost to Juliana Miller, that's a problem. Ryan Loder, Azamat Bukoyev, I mean, literally bites down on his mouthpiece, goes forward, and just stands in a pocket, pushes Ryan Loder up against the fence, and just throws bombs. And he's getting hit cleanly by Ryan Loder, but he just, almost like a Carlos Leal performance where he just didn't care. Because he knew it's like he knew his will was stronger than his, and you're not going to be able to take it. Like, you're gonna break before I break. And he literally did that. He tested his will against Ryan Loder, imposed his will against Ryan Loder. Wasn't defensively sound, wasn't very crisp and technical. Winging hooks, getting in his face, landing power, and he crumbles Ryan Loder. Tough. Yana Santos, Miesha Tate. This was a fun fight for me. I'm going to be honest. Round 1, immediately Miesha Tate takes the center, throwing bombs. First round was very, very competitive. And then all of a sudden, Yana Santos starts to get comfortable. And Yana Santos is moving on the feet, and her footwork is like looking really, really good compared to Miesha Tate. And she's popping a jab. She's 1-2, not ha-ha. No ha-ha. See what? Inside low kick. Inside low kick. And she was like really out-kickboxing Miesha Tate. And then in round 2, I think, was worse than round 1, beating the fuck out of Miesha Tate. Like, beating the fuck out of Miesha Tate. Knees to the body. Working the body. Like, really, really good. Stuffing all the takedowns coming her way in round 1 and round 2. Round 3, Miesha Tate finally gets a takedown. A little too much too late. Yana Santos, it could have been a 10-8, but it wasn't that brutal. Yana Santos survives. I was scared that they were going to, like, be 10-8. That was tricky there, 10-8, but no. Yana Santos survives. Knew she won 1 and 2. Kind of impressive by Yana Santos. I'm going to be honest. Mason Jones puts on a fun performance. Gives the fans a fun performance. This is probably fight of the night. I don't know what got awarded, but I think this was fight of the night. Over D-Rod and Santiago Ponzinibbio. Because both men landing clean punches. Mason Jones clearly throwing much, much more volume. Landing much more often, cleaner, and more combination. Jeremy Stephens was landing the big, gnarly right hands that were clean. Mason Jones was taking them well. Mason Jones was going jab straight, hook to the body. Knee to the body. 1-2 body kick, like blasting him. Lighting Jeremy Stephens up badly. But Jeremy Stephens hung tough to where Mason Jones was like, okay, let's just close out the show. Rounds 1 and 2, I think Mason Jones clearly won, but let's just close out the show. And he initiated that grappling, that really, really good grappling that we knew, wrestling that we knew that he had, and he dominates. Jeremy Stephens throwing him around every which way. Really good performance from Mason Jones. I want to see him clean up the technique. I think he really just came out here trying to have fun and brawl with Jeremy Stephens, giving the fans a show in his first fight back in the UFC, but I like to see him more technically sound, more using his wrestling more often. I think he could be really good. Cameron Smotherman versus Series City, and this is the reason why I was so low confident in this, because how does Cameron close the distance? Like, I knew he was good on the regionals of closing the distance, but he hasn't fought this style of fighter a lot. And then I didn't expect Series City to grapple as much as he did. He had a really good game plan. Almost Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates at home. game plan to where you're setting up the strikes, you're staying light on your feet, you're staying on your bike, and then you're missing in the takedowns to where Cameron Smothering never really got a rhythm in there. And then he just looked like he was throwing Hail Mary hooks in there and Hail Mary 1-2s and not really landing clean. I think Cameron Smothering clearly won the third round. Whatever judge didn't give him that third round, I think you're bullshit. And that kind of screwed one of my bets. But I think the right guy won here. The right guy won here, for sure. Cameron Smothering, I don't think he's as good as you guys, like the MMA community and the community overall. I don't think he's as good as you hyped him up to be. He can be. He's just very unpolished. In Serious City, I think y'all severely underrated him. Daniel Marcos versus Montel Jackson. Daniel Marcos is one of the bum. Like, I'm fine. Finally, his O's gone. Finally, I've been waiting for this moment. Like I told y'all, I picked Sexy Messy John Castaneda. I picked Adrian Yanez, and I think Adrian Yanez won that fight. I might be in the minority with that one. And I picked Montel Jackson. I was going to keep. He was like Christian Rodriguez. I'm going to keep picking against him until I'm right. But this one, I was strictly like, yeah, there was some bias in there, but I really confidently knew that Daniel Marcos was going to have nothing for Montel Jackson. His wrestling was much better than I thought it would be. He was actually securing some takedowns, but he wasn't heavy on top. He wasn't nearly big enough to hold anybody down, and he looked like he was grappling to survive. He didn't look like he was grappling to advance positions and find a finish. Like Montel Jackson gave his back, turtled and gave his back to Daniel Marcos maybe 3 or 4 times in that fight. Daniel Marcos, 0 out of 4 times tried to attack. I'm sorry, my eyes are really bad. 0 out of 4 times tried to attack a body lock. 0 out of 4 times tried to take his back and work a submission. Even when he was down 0-2 in the third round, and Montel Jackson gave him his back again, built the space to get up. Daniel Marcos, I don't know if that was in the tape, but Daniel Marcos' back take, his jiu-jitsu is not really that good. Montel Jackson was bigger, was stronger, landing the more significant strikes, throwing more. Daniel Marcos wasn't even throwing. Dude landed 24 shots in the whole fight. I think he only threw like 7 in the second round. He landed 7 in 1 and 2. That's what it was. Like, dude, you're not even trying. Like, I think he felt Montel Jackson's power and was like, yeah, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, it just feels good to be right. It just feels good to be right. And I wish I would have got better odds on it, but at the end of the day, Montel Jackson looked like a minus 200 favorite in there. I'm going to be honest. Santiago Ponzinibbio, another fight I got right. Daniel Rodriguez, best boxing, man. He's a much better boxer in a primarily boxing fight. I didn't think he was going to finish Santiago. I knew it was possible, but I just didn't think he was going to finish Santiago. I bet the over 1.5, so that did hit. But the other half of that parlay missed because the co-main event I had over 1.5. Bo Nickel missed it by 30 seconds. But this was it was a brawl, pretty much. Wing and hook. Santiago got hurt in the first round. Santiago got hurt in the second round. And Santiago got finished in the third round. Daniel Rodriguez landed... Wait, this isn't right. Actually landed a knockdown in the third round, but he hurt him bad in that first round. It almost felt like the writing was on the wall. Santiago was going into the third, down 2-0, knowing he needed to finish. And Daniel Rodriguez fought like the guy who needed to finish. Renner de Ritter. I don't know why I keep saying that shit like that. Dominates Bo Nickel, crumbles him. Kind of gets, I'm not going to say gets the best of him on the feet, but held his own on the ground. Held his own on the ground, ended up on top. They worked their way up. I don't know, Bo. That was just bad. His body language was just bad. Renner de Ritter lands a body shot, and Bo backs his back up into the cage, and he's looking at the ref. And in my head, is he trying to say that was a low blow or something? Then Renner de Ritter, let me just say RDR clinches, and he's just ripping to the body. And Bo Nickel's not even engaging with RDR, who's ripping shots to the body. He's looking at the ref still, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then he goes for a overhand right, lands, tries to spin out, and he's clearly hurt to the body, but he's still not paying any attention to RDR. He's looking at the ref. RDR steps in with a big knee, crumbles Bo Nickel. I don't have no idea. I need to hear an interview. I need to hear what was going on. RDR crumbled Bo Nickel. TKO'd him bad with body. And in this fight, the narrative was RDR striking is so dog shit. If this fight's on the feet, he's going to lose. And he crumbles Bo Nickel. TKOs him with shots to the body. Crazy work. And then main event ends in a freak accident, but Corey Sandhagen was pretty much dominating the fight. So I didn't feel like I missed out on anything, but you obviously don't want to see a 5-round fight with 2 guys of this level in the second round due to a freak injury. But Shame on Davis and Figueiredo. Why keep rolling for leg locks anyway? Like, what was the point of that shit? I don't understand. You weren't like every time you rolled for a leg lock, he was getting ground and pounded, getting his head smashed into the mat. Corey Sandhagen was very, very aggressive in his fight, more aggressive than we were used to, and he was like literally landing vicious ground. Okay, maybe not vicious, but he was like really trying to lay it into Davis and Figueiredo on the ground and pound, and it was working. Like he was beating the fuck out of Davis and Figueiredo. I'm willing to say that. But Davison, they're in a 50-50 position, legs locked. Davison, I want to say he tears his ACL. That's just me making an assumption. I don't know. We'll figure it out sooner than later. But yeah, that was the fight. Going over it, it actually wasn't as bad. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I don't know. I won money today. Casual parlay hit. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing. I'll just have to see how everybody else is feeling about it. But like, comment, subscribe. We're back next week. Things are picking up in schools. Finals are coming up. I'm trying to lock in. I got a lot of things going on in like in my personal life, aside from YouTube. But it's a fun time to be a fan of the sport. Next week, UFC 315, JDM, Bilal Muhammad. I think next week's casual parlay is going to be a banger. We're going to try to make it 4 in a row. Let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this to somebody I know they'll enjoy just like you did. You ain't got to go home. You got to get it out of him, man. Yeet.